Good morning. Good morning. Oh, it would probably be sometime in the afternoon when everybody gets to see this. But as again, you know who it is. Out of sight of my raspy ass voice that makes me sound like a little 12-year-old. It's the Black Little Mac, and you know what time it is. Young Black Voices. Well, it's gonna be Young Black Voice today because this is gonna be a rather short episode. I'm not gonna go like too in depth of what's gonna be going on, or it's gonna be like really short. It's gonna be like a quick introduction to what parenthood is and stuff of that nature, and then we're gonna kind of go from there. It's gonna be as I mentioned last week, it's gonna be a 3-part episode. Part one is just kind of introducing the ideal of what a parent is, because I think everybody's kind of either confused or just blatantly don't give a fuck about it. So we're gonna be introducing that topic today. Part two is gonna be, yeah. Part two is gonna be giving you an insight on how parenting has changed over the past decade or so, specifically in the Black community, and how that has seen a downward spiral into some trends that weren't as popular back in the day. So that's going to be part two. It's going to be one of the topics on part two. Part three is explaining the difference between a mother and a father. So, and then that's really going to be, I mean, he's not going to say skew, but it's really going to be just about the difference between like a mother and a father. Children growing up in a single father, children growing up in a single mother household. That's what it's going to be explaining that type of difference in the psychological implementations of that in the Black community. Because as we know, most of the time, our young Black brothers and sisters are just raised in a single mother household, a single parent household, predominantly with the mother. And then also attached with that topic, we're going to talk about the difference between I may not touch on this maybe, but we'll probably, if we have the time, I'll probably get to talking about the difference between children in I want to say straight parent or quote unquote heterosexual parent household, where it's a mother and a father, versus a same sex parent household. If that makes sense. It's something I don't have experience with, but it's just something that really needs to be talked about, especially in the confines of the Black community, because everybody just seems to think some type of belittling way about the situation. And I want to just kind of clear the air with that. And it's going to be like a short segment on there, but I just want to clear the air on that so that there's no further confusion of it, because it's not right how it's judged somewhat, and it still kind of is judged despite it being more common, but just people are people. Anyway, what I'm about to go, this is a weekly thing, and I appreciate anybody who's supported me, anybody who's subscribed to me, anybody who's viewing this on a week-to-week basis. If you do, I thoroughly enjoy your company. I thoroughly enjoy the support, and I hope that you keep it up. I will be trying to pump out more content as time goes on, so that I can get it out to you in a fair amount of time. That's just something I really want to do, and I just want to be appreciative of how far I've come. Another thing, I'm going to be dropping my socials in the link this time. I'm not really a big social media person, but I really want to expand it past just sharing it on Facebook, as most people, So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to drop the link to my Instagram and to my Twitter, and the link of this video is going to be posted later on this afternoon, or even later on tonight, pushing on into tomorrow morning. One of those things, I'm going to start recording episode 2 and 3 also this weekend. Also, there's a few things. I'm going to be playing a few different games, just getting this first 5 minutes knocked out the way, just with general news for the channel. I'll be playing a few different games like Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 7, pretty much anything that is there. At my disposal at this time, be streaming fighting games and everything. So, when I get to that point, I will definitely send out notifications. And once you subscribe, just go ahead and hit that notification. You get a basically a little ding every time I upload. Y'all know the deal. If you've been watching YouTube for a minute, y'all know the deal. But without further ado, let's get into the topic of today. All right. So, being a parent is a very difficult thing because it's just not cut and dry. There's so many ways to parent. There's so many different ways to be a parent, and it's just not one solid way. People are trying to tell others for the longest that it's a solid way to be a parent. There's books on it. There's studies, and there's about like a million different things, and none of it ever will make sense because everybody parents differently. So I don't necessarily think that there's one true untold secret to parenting other than just do it. Just do it. All you can do is a learning experience is like anything else. I don't get what it is that makes people think that, but whatever. So the dictionary definition of a parent is a mother or father, that's the noun, definition 1, or be or act as a parent to a child. Now that is a very important thing because you can be a parent to a child that isn't biologically yours. And I mean, most people do know this. You have like your stepmother, stepfather, things of that nature. But so, I mean, that's just kind of getting into the generalization of it. Simply what it is to be a parent is to be a being of understanding towards your child. You have to understand that your child has needs, and these needs need to be met with all fiber. You being yourself to understand that the child is an extension of you, yourself, and the person that you made it with. So you have to especially be careful on that end. So realistically, you have to choose the right person whose energies match with yours so that the child doesn't end up being either like really hateful or really spiteful or just mean in general or I don't want to say crazy, but just a wide variety of different things. You also have to watch for that because the person that you mate with to get this child, their spirit is endowed in that child along with yours, and it just kind of depends on how strong it is that dictates what's going to be happening and like how much of their spirit actually is presented in that child. Other than that, you have, and that's just from, I don't even say a biological sense, but that is from a biological sense, kind of just getting into that. But in like a non-biological sense, or just being somebody that's there, that's where you get it really complicated. Because you could be a parent to a child, as I said, without even being biologically related to them, and that gets really into a different mindset because now you're getting this child ready for the world, but you really don't know this child and everything else. So you're just kind of trying to get everything that you could possibly get through to this child without you being like a major biological component of this child's DNA structure. A prime example of this would be stepfather and stepmother, or even like adopted father and adopted mother. Especially when it comes to being an adoptive parent, you have to take a little bit more time than an actual parent to kind of get the vibe of the child, because you never know what that child has been through, especially in this crooked ass system that we do currently live in. So this is something you just have to kind of get acclimated to, versus being a stepfather or stepmother, where you still have to get acclimated to the child, themselves, but you have a better understanding of the child through their actual, their biological mother or father. So that's just something to keep in mind, and it's better to, and I'll say stuff like that, it's better to do it young, right? So once for most people who don't know this, once you have a child, right, especially from like the mother perspective, the child's always going to be always attached to the mother, because that's was his or her first grasp at life, the first time that you got to really experience any type of love and warmth and feeling with it is with your mother. So especially because you're inside of her for like 9 months, and you just magically pop out. It's not even magic, but you just pop out, hopefully without any complications. And once you do that, you just have a strong bond that's never going to be broken, or it's really hard to be broken. It's possible. Trust me, it's extremely possible to break this bond, but it's extremely difficult all at the same time. So it's just really one of those weird situations. Now with the father, if you're there from birth, like from the birth of this child, then that is another set, because you're teaching this child, especially when it comes down to the boys. You teach these boys how to move and maneuver around like you do, inadvertently. All right. So, and I'll get into this on another topic, but just to kind of give you, I'm not probably doing another topic, but it's just kind of give you a breakdown. Children are like giant tape recorders, right? When they see you do something, they instantly do it. They're like Kakashi with the Sharingan. Once they see you do it, they attempt to do it. Whatever you say, they attempt to say, or they fully say. So it's not one of those things that you can't legit get mad at them, but you have to kind of look at yourself all at the same time. So when it comes down to having a son, and I have 2 sons, so I kind of get this general motif, especially when it comes down to that aspect of it. The oldest of them all, if it's a boy, will be more influential to the younger children. So say you have 4 children, right? Whichever one's the oldest, if it's a boy or girl, that child will be the one that they look up to the most. And that's just kind of going to be, I don't know, not even a weird thing, just kind of a general thing, because they feel like they are more in tune and more impromptu to go to their older sibling than their parents, because they fear the consequences of what their parents would do to them if they did a certain amount of thing, like an allotted thing. And they also view their older siblings as kind of the perfect specimen, because they've already been through this stuff, so they've already done the things that they need to do. They've learned certain things, so now they're going to just look up to them like, what do I do in this situation? How do I do this? ... Just insert any random child question. Just from that aspect, when it comes down to having a daughter, it's a little bit difficult, not different, but a little bit difficult, because whereas with just in regard to the fathers, in regards to that, having a daughter is 10 times more difficult than having a son. When it comes down to for men, because they look up to you as a source of, I want to say, not like dominance, but like a source of what they want out of a person that they may potentially be dating down the line. So like, you set that standard, you set that precedent in what you do, and how stubborn you are, and how unlikely that you are to change or anything, then that's what's going to happen there. So yeah, it's a lot more likely that when you yourself go in as, I want to say, maybe when you yourself go in and try to talk to your daughter about certain things, it's going to be a little bit difficult as a man, because they're not going to be as open with you as they will be with their mother, whereas the son is more likely to be more open with you, because you share the same sexual organism. So just put it like that. And it's another complication that we'll probably get into on a later date. But it's just how it is. So you kind of got to structure it different ways. So in a nutshell, and I mean, even then it's the same for mothers as well. So it's a lot more difficult for a mother to raise her son, not raise a son, but to connect with her son after a certain amount of time, because once you get to a point where he gets old enough, he's going to be looking for like a male role model that he's going to have to want to model himself after, because he's going to know that there's a difference between a man and a woman. So then he's going to try to find the nearest male role model, and that's really, I want to say, detrimental. in the black households, because the first male role model they're going to see, they're just going to mimic and then imitate no matter what they're doing, whether it's good or bad or what have you. Like, strangely enough, and it's not even strange enough, you have to just understand that people who share the same gender or sexual organs, I just say it like that, are more prone to talk to each other, right? So they're more prone to be more open. So how a mother can be more, or a daughter can be more open with their mother, a son will be more open with their father, just because they somewhat share the same struggles sometimes, and then it's just kind of more of a comfortability thing. Especially, and it becomes more apparent when you break it down into like stepchildren, especially when it comes like to stepfathers and step-parents. I mean, and then you have like adopted parents. Now, it's not to say that they're all in the same boat, because when you see a child, you have this overwhelming and overbearing sense of, wow, this is a human being that I just created, or I'm going to be a part of this human being's life, and I'm going to be a part of raising it to be a successful citizen. It's really weird, because I've been through this experience 3 times. It's still a shocking factor. It's still something that doesn't. It just surprises you every time, because each child is different, and they grow up, and then they just learn different things, So in that regard, it's a tad bit different. On the other hand, though, and this is extremely, extremely important, but on the other hand, when it breaks down to it, everybody has the capability to love a child, no matter if they're yours or not. And I say that to say this: the act of being a parent doesn't necessarily go strictly it doesn't strictly go off the biological aspect of it. You can parent a child that's not even yours, as I said, but you just have to act as a parent, right? And I'm gonna get more in depth with this on later parts of this episode. But there's a difference between a father and a daddy. There's a difference. There's a difference between a mother and a mammy. Like, there's a distinct difference between both of these. And this difference kind of boils down to the amount of time and time that you take as a human being to get to learn and know this other human being. So often that we have right now, and I'm going to get into this, I think, on either part 2 or part 3, but so many times, especially in this new day and age, that we just throw a electronic device in our children's face, or throw something at them, or just make it to where they're not our main focus. You know what I'm saying? And that really is detrimental to the health of the mental health of the child, because it makes them believe, or gives them the perception, that you don't care about them. You just want them out the fucking way. You just want them to move so you can do whatever you want to. That's not right. And I do not support any of that. You have to learn and build and be with your children if you can, when you can, so that you can learn them and they can learn you, and then it will be 100% of a more, what's the word? 100% more cohesive of a bond between parent and child. And it's just the same for if they were adopted, if their biological father or mother had a spouse that they got married to. It's the same thing. You cannot treat a child as if it's like either a baby doll, especially when they're really young, like a baby doll. You just play with it, put it down, and then that's it. And it just hopefully runs out of batteries and has all switch. No, that's just not how you do that. You have to nurture and care for it, and not just, it's a baby, shut the hell up, ... or any of that, anything in that regard, because it's detrimental to the child's mental and emotional stability. So all in all, to keep myself from ranting, I'm going to just stop that right there. And I'm going to stop the episode right here at about the 20-minute mark. So if you got through this entire episode and all my ramblings and all this other nonsensical things, then I would solely do appreciate it. I'm going to be hitting you guys with parts 2 through 4. Parts 2 through 3. Either trickling down this week, because I'm not just gonna all upload it within like a week every week confine, but I am gonna upload it in a decent amount of time. So the other 2 parts will probably be uploaded sometime next week before Friday, and I'll probably upload episode 9 on Friday or somewhere around those lines. So definitely, if you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and give it a like, share it to everybody on your social medias. Again, my links to my socials will be down in the description. I'm going to start attempting to post on there a lot more than I actually do. So definitely, when you get just go on, shoot me a follow on Instagram, on Twitter. I'm not giving away my Facebook, but I will give you the link to my business Facebook, I guess. Just to see, just for anybody who wants to get tattoos or logos done for me, it's reason to be priced depending on how you want it to be structured and how you want me to do it. Just go ahead and hit me up. I'm gonna make. You usually look at my Instagram, you see I'm a pretty decent artist. So definitely, I love all the support and all the follows and subscriptions and likes and views that I've been getting. This so far a few, but hey, I'm just starting out, So definitely love all of my people who have come and subscribed to me and stayed since day 1. You know what I'm saying? Or day 2, or however many days it's really been, or however many days you've been with me. So I love you. If you haven't already, again, like, comment, subscribe. New videos coming soon. More content. All right. Peace.